Screenwriters Beat!
Yay!
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello to my very talented working screenwriters. We're here for episode 5.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to go around and meet this great crew. We have the funny and action-packed Eric Ingram.
Yay!
Well, hello, screenwriting world. Hi.
We have funny girl herself, no offense to Barbara Streisand, Heidi Mastro Giovanni.
I'm honored and great to be here, you guys. Great to be with you.
Great, and we have, for the first time joining the panel, although he's always been a part of the panel, the super Jeff Burns.
Yeah, I wish I was wearing my Superman shirt, though. Great to be here.
Yeah, you should have that.
Yeah.
And all the way from Australia, because it's so far in the internet, Margaret Risley.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
Great, and the woman that scares us, but she should be known as the woman with the fastest rewrite known to man, Nicole Jones-Dion.
Hi, and I have Superman back here in the background. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Very good. It's all a theme today. And I'm Anne Kimbrough, your host. Hey, guys.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, everybody.
Well, we're going to jump right into things with our topic, because it's a pretty cool topic that a lot of people like to know about, and that's about how you write with a partner. Should you write with a partner? What kind of stories can you tell us? We'll go with someone with a positive story first. Nicole Jones-Dion.
I love working with a writing partner. You know, when you get that right synergy, it's like everything really clicks, and you can just add on to each other. And working in that collaborative environment is great, and it really speeds up the process too. You can write a script in record time if both people are doing it.
Good point. Margaret Risley, how about you? How's your experience been?
Good and bad. The brainstorming is great. The instant feedback is great, but you've got to be careful that you pick the right partner, because things can go wrong pretty quickly, especially if you don't have anything in writing up front, and you can lose your own project, so be careful.
Good point. Jeff, have you written with someone, and did you have a contract?
I didn't have a contract. Usually I write by myself, but the one time I did write with partners is my web series Super Knocked Up. We did some crossover episodes where me and some other web series, our characters met in videos and we cross-promote each other. And that was a lot of fun, actually. I pretty much always wrote the first draft and then sent it to them. And you know, for me, the important part was I was writing for somebody else's characters. I didn't create them, somebody else did. So I wanted to be really respectful of that and make sure I was being faithful to their characters. And they had the same, they were great people, so they had the same thing about my characters. So I think the key thing is that we mutually respected each other. I think that's probably what I would say is maybe one of the most important things when writing with a partner, is that mutual respect.
I would agree with that, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Nicole, do you have contract with everyone you write?
It's pretty much mandatory. Yeah, it's like even if it's a good friend of yours, you know, you never know. It's like, because once you start getting interest from producers, and then they get the smell of money in the water, you know, it's
great smell.
Weird, yeah. I love the smell of money in the morning, you know. But
Heidi, how about you? You've worked on the web series also. Do you have multiple writers?
We do. Actually, at the moment, the two actors, the brilliant, I say that objectively, actors who are playing Verdine and Glenita are it's great to work with them because their voices are the voices of these characters. And I think Jeff will agree, and everyone will agree, with comedy, it's just great to have an audience either laughing or saying, "You think that's funny? Are you high?" You know, so it's great. It's great to have a built-in audience.
I agree. Eric, how about you? What's been your experience working with a partner?
I've had two. One was good, one was okay, and just to piggyback what Nicole was saying, that you must make sure you and your partner are equal, or either they're better than you, because when you have to kind of slow down and teach people the basic stuff, it's painful. But then I had someone who was better than me at something, and it was like, oh, this is what Roser, what's it, Elliot, and what's his name, the big guys, Lone Ranger,
Rossio and
those guys. You know, but even they don't work together on everything. So that's what I mean. If you find the right partner, it's a great thing. You can get a lot done.
Yeah, I agree. I've written with several people, And it helps when you have sort of a common dialogue. I mean, I know all of us have been, since we've been through Screenwriting News program, and that really helps to write with other people that have been through the program. You know what you're talking about. You got a shorthand already.
Right, shorthand.
That's true.
For sure.
Yeah. But so, closing up on that topic, any last words of advice about writing partners, Nicole?
Well, just, make sure up front, not only to have the contract, but also kind of figure out exactly how you're going to work together, because I know some writing teams, they're in the same room at the same time. I've never had that luxury. I always work remotely over the internet. We either share files via Dropbox or Google Docs, and just really clearly define what the expectations are out of the partnership, who's going to be doing what. I've done some scripts where, we'll just divide it up scene by scene, because certain scenes will resonate with me but not with them, or they'll be like action scenes and I'm more of an action person, they're more of the drama person. However you want to divide it up, just make sure that the responsibilities are fairly even, and that way no one feels resentful that they're carrying too much of the burden.
Right. So, Margie, how is that? If someone else writes the scene, are you allowed to go in and make it sound a little bit more like you? Do you pump the dialogue?
Of course, but I think it comes back to characters. You've got to make the character consistent. So it's about what they would say rather than what I would say. So yeah, you've got to make sure it's consistent all the way through. The other thing I was going to say was ego is an important thing to get out of the way, but don't be bullied into accepting something that you don't agree with. If your gut tells you that what you're saying is right, stick with it. Don't let somebody browbeat you into taking their opinion, because it's not always right. It's important to have a good relationship, good working relationship.
Well, Jeff, when you were with somebody else's characters, did they have the ability to come and say, hey, this might not have been exactly, I need to make some adjustments?
No, I just told him to go to hell. No, that goes totally against the mutual respect thing. No, absolutely. I would. I watched their shows multiple times to really get a feel for the characters, and then took my best shot. And what I was really pleased is that almost all the time they were like, "Yeah, man, you did great." But there was definitely times where they were like, "Okay, let me redo this. I think the characters would say this." And every time I was, of course, it's your characters. It's not them the best, and I always deferred to them on that stuff. For sure. That was very important, I think.
That's cool. Well, and Heidi, you agree with Jeff?
Just 100%. Yeah.
Just 100%. Yeah, like you're going to say no.
No.
Yeah, and Eric, would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's I've been working so by myself for so long that you need other people sometimes. To see if the joke, for my comedy, I hope if the jokes work, or else they may give me something else that makes me go on another tangent that might make it even funny. So I had to kill the ego. That's basically what I had to do. Kill the ego.
Yeah, everyone should try it once. At least.
Yeah.
You'll come out a better writer. You will.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, bravo. That's a great one. Like I said, that's one of those topics that comes up a lot. But now we have to move on to our game.
Yay!
And our game is actually called Show and Tell. Always get asked about what's our favorite screenwriting book. So I want everyone to hold up a book at the same time, like on a count of 3.
Shoot.
If anyone has it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! We'll go through. Eric, tell us what your book is and why you love it.
It's called Make a Scene, Crafting Story One Scene at a Time. It's a great step-by-step book on what should be in a scene, and then you just kind of start stringing them together, and next thing you know, you have a movie.
Brilliant. Heidi, what's your book?
Full disclosure, it's by a really good friend of mine, Getting Past Me, A Writer's Guide to Production Company Readers by Mindy White. Very concise. You will check it again and again. A way of getting your script to be recommended by a reader.
That's definitely a good door to open.
Yep.
Jeff?
This is a very big book, as you can see. So I don't have it handy. It's called Story, though, by Robert McKee, a very well-known screenwriting book. For me, still my favorite book. It taught me a ton, and I think just a tremendous book about explaining why people relate to your story and your characters.
Yeah. A really great classic. Margie, how about you? What did you hold up?
I was the Comic Toolbox. It's not. I wouldn't say
Great
it's
one.
my absolute favourite, but I just wanted to do something different because I know everybody has very similar tastes in in these books. But this is great because it opened my eyes to the fact that I could actually be funny. I never had the confidence before to even try it. But it's great. I think everybody should read it.
Oh, super! And I know Eric has writes comedy. Is that a book you know too, Eric?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. That is a great book. I mean, literally, especially step by step. If you can get that down and get it in your make it automatic, I'm telling you, you'll be able to write so much faster.
Yeah, I've read that one too. It does give you, if you could teach comedy, that book could do it.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
Nicole, what did you hold up?
I have an ebook, so you got a little bit of a glare there. It's Rewrite by Paul Chitlick. And if you're like me and the rewrite process is your least favorite part of the screenwriting process, this book takes all the pain out. It gives you step-by-step guidelines and instructions to just breeze right through it. And because as you know, writing is rewriting, and this is the book to help get it done.
That's cool. Well, I think a lot of these books, what they do more than even just teach, is they inspire you to go. Keep going.
Yes. Yeah.
You all know mine, Save the Cat by Blake Snyder.
Classic.
Yeah.
See all my little bookmarks. I love it for the really quick outlining. It has some really good tips there and tricks. Hit those plot points, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys. Those were great books, and I appreciate you sharing them with us. You survived another game segment of our show.
Can I sneak another one in?
Oh, sure. Well, you get extra points.
This one right here.
Great book.
That's a fantastic.
Oh my gosh! It changed. There's one thing to learn screenwriting, but then there's also the business of screenwriting.
Yep.
Mention who wrote it.
It is Robert Ben Garrett and Thomas Lennon. If you guys watch Reno 911,
Yep.
Lieutenant Dangle and the guy with the cape.
Junior, is it Junior?
Yeah. It's great. Anyway, it's a great book. I mean, these guys, they wrote The Pacifier, the museum movies with Ben Stiller. I mean, they've done stuff. I was like, really?
Yeah.
So, great book.
And they tell you the business then, right? That's all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Great book.
Super. All right, you do get extra points. I'm glad you remembered to bring that one up. Thank you.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
It's what you do. We have a question from our audience, our fantastic audience. We love you.
Yeah.
This is from Buddy Stan Swick. Excuse me if I say your name wrong. I'm making it up. My own pronunciation, probably. But he has a question about writing styles. And I believe he's read a lot online, which everybody should do. Read scripts. It's great. But he wants to know that what is our experience, which is the correct writing style to use for maybe a certain kind of genre? Do you go concise? Do you go narrative? I'll start with Nicole.
For me, the general rule of thumb is just the shorter the better. Put as few words on a page as possible, but make every word count. No fluff.
No fluff. Margie?
I think sometimes there is not fluff, but when you got the emotion, like compare action to emotion. Action, obviously, you want everything to move really fast, and you do want a very fast read, so you are cutting back on your words anyway. But when it comes to emotion, okay, you don't need to use more words, but you need to space it out more. You just need to draw out the time for the, like maybe a few words on a line, just draw out the emotion so that you don't brush past it too quickly.
So a little bit of both. Where do you know where to put the right stuff, Jeff?
I don't. I mean, like Nicole, I write very concisely. I mean, for sure, I'm very, very short, and I keep things, keep things moving. I think that also, though, it fits the style of genre that I tend to write in, which is action and action comedy. So, I think that fits very well with what I do. And so, obviously, the genre will somewhat determine that. I guess your style a little bit.
That's a good point. Also, Heidi, does genre dictate it?
I think it does, but I think for any genre, do not overwrite. Just don't do it. Keep any words that can be deleted and still keep the message, but delete them. Keep those pages turning. Whatever you do, keep the reader engaged. Do not give them a moment to stop paying attention. And keep the pages turning. Keep it lean.
Right. Eric, how about you?
I piggyback everything that everyone has said. But my issue used to be I used to take out every extraneous word, but then when I read it back, there was no emotion in it. And so it's supposed to be, I know it's good to turn pages, that's what everyone tells you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not asking you to add flowery stuff. What I'm saying is there are times when if you draw it out, there's an emotional feeling that the reader will get, and then when it's time to speed it up. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of both. I understand both, but you gotta have. It's all about the experience. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Remember the overall experience. Right. Well, and I would also say when you're reading things online, be really certain that it isn't a director's script, because that's really different, right? They can do everything.
There's a lot more detail in the director's scripts.
Yeah.
Right. So don't let that trip you up. Well, terrific. You guys answered that really well. And we've come to the end of our episode. How did that happen? So fast. I'd like to go through and have you all plug what you're up to, because I know you're really busy, and I appreciate you taking the time to be here. But you've been doing some really cool things the last time we spoke. Let's start off with Nicole Jones-Dion. What's happening?
Cool. Yeah, I've written a little short film that I'm going to be co-directing. It'll be my first directing. A little scary, a little exciting. It's called Devil's Deal, so if you guys could like us on Facebook, that would be great, and we'll give you lots of fun updates.
Great. Oh, that's terrific. Margie, how about you?
I'm doing a rewrite for a producer, but I've just had one of my supernatural horror scripts has been announced as a semi-finalist in the Screencraft horror competition and quarter-finalist in Page.
Wow.
Yesterday and today.
Congratulations.
Very good.
Yay.
Thank you. Jeff Burns, what are you up to?
Last week I just released season 2 of my web series Super Knocked Up. It's about a female supervillain gets knocked up by a superhero and has to raise the baby with her nemesis. So that's been a lot of fun. And if people are watching this up through July 27th, please vote for us in the Streamy Awards, a big online show, or award show for online content. They can go to clutchtheseries.com/streamies.html. That's where me and a bunch of other web series are. Put all the links there where you can easily vote. Take about 30 seconds of your time. Really appreciate it.
Great. Well, and I will add all those links for everybody's stuff so you can find it. Heidi, what have you been up to, girl?
It's the Verdine and Glenita web comedy. We were just chosen for the hot spot on the hot list on the WGA website, and we've got a Facebook. Thank you, darlings. We've got a Facebook page. Please do come visit, and we have a website, verdineandglenita.com.
Oh, super. Eric, how about you?
Just the author of a short called The Very First Comedy. And then another option for urban dance drama called Yankee Gal. It's about the Jamaican dance hall. And then I'm finishing up this apocalyptic fantasy, which is kind of called The Last Chosen One. So it's high and intense, and hopefully it's going to change the spirit of the world. I'm going for.
Oh, cool.
Go, Eric.
Yay.
You guys are so impressive. I'm so happy for all of you. Well, things are going great. I'm finishing up a second draft for my writing assignment, and I have a spec horror film that I'm just getting completed.
Yeah.
So I'll be trying to target some producers with that. And of course, I have this little thing called the Screenwriters Beat Google Hangout show.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful content and information, and we'll be back again real soon. You guys take it easy. Happy writing.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.